At 78, Sir Elton John remains one of the most iconic musicians the world has ever seen. With a career spanning more than 5 decades, he has sold hundreds of millions of records, performed in nearly every corner of the globe, and written songs that have become part of the very fabric of popular culture. But behind the glittering costumes, the sold-out stadiums, and the adoration of fans lies a story filled with tragedy, heartbreak, and battles that nearly consumed him. His journey has always been a mix of triumph and turmoil, and even now, his later years reflect both the victories and the pain. Born Reginald Kenneth Dwight in 1947, Elton grew up in a household that was often cold and unloving. His father was distant and his mother was critical, leaving young Elton to seek solace in music. From an early age, he discovered the piano was not just a talent but a lifeline, something that gave him both escape and purpose. Yet the lack of affection and support left scars that would follow him into adulthood, fueling insecurities and struggles that fame could never completely heal. By the 1970s, Elton had become an international superstar. Songs like Your Song, Rocket Man, and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road made him a household name. He was flamboyant, witty, and larger than life on stage, but behind the curtain, he was often deeply unhappy. Fame came with immense pressure, and Elton turned to alcohol and drugs to cope. For years, he battled addiction in secret, hiding his pain behind glittering outfits and iconic glasses. At his lowest point, he admitted to using cocaine almost daily and spiraling into cycles of self-destruction that could have ended his career, or even his life. Another heartbreaking chapter in Elton's story was his struggle to come to terms with his sexuality in an unforgiving era. Though he eventually became a powerful advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, Elton spent many years in confusion and pain, unable to fully embrace who he was. His first marriage to Renate Blauel in 1984 was an attempt to live a normal life, but it only left both of them heartbroken. Later, when he came out publicly, he faced backlash and prejudice, even as he continued to shine on stage. Perhaps most tragically, Elton lost many friends and colleagues during the height of the AIDS crisis in the 1980s and 1990s. He watched helplessly as the disease claimed countless lives, including those of people he loved dearly. These losses pushed him to reflect on his own life and ultimately led him to found the Elton John AIDS Foundation, one of the most impactful charities in the world. Still, the grief of those years never left him. It became another part of his personal tragedy. Elton's health has also been a source of ongoing struggle. Over the years, he has battled serious infections, undergone surgeries, and faced the physical toll of decades of touring. In 2019, he collapsed on stage in New Zealand after suffering from walking pneumonia. Even in retirement, health scares have reminded fans just how fragile their idol really is. Each setback has fueled concerns about how much longer he can continue to share his gift with the world. Yet, through all the tragedy, Elton John has shown remarkable resilience. His marriage to David Furnish, the adoption of their 2 sons, and his long-awaited sobriety have brought him stability and joy. Still, his story remains bittersweet. At 78, Elton's legacy is undeniable. But so is the heartbreak that shaped him, the lonely childhood, the battles with addiction, the painful search for identity, the loss of friends, and the wear and tear of life lived in the spotlight. Elton John's tragedy is not that he failed, but that his greatest successes have always been shadowed by deep personal pain. He is proof that even legends can carry heartbreak in their hearts no matter how brightly they shine. And as fans look back on his extraordinary career, they cannot help but admire not only the music but the strength it took to survive.